If there's one thing I could say to my younger self, it would probably be, take responsibility for everything that happens to you, no matter what it is. What's the difference between the rich and the poor? Last week, I listened to a podcast interviewing the world's top successful people, billionaires. And there was one standout mentality that all of them shared. Success, whether deserved or not, doesn't depend on where you start, your circumstances, or how smart or beautiful you are. It entirely depends on where they choose to blame. Poor people always blame things that are not them. Circumstances, times, fate, even people around them. I don't have time. I work at the company 8 hours a day. Where do I have time to learn new things? I'm so busy. I don't have time to work out. It is never their fault. They never take responsibility for steering their own lives. Rich people always blame themselves. I am poor because of me. They take full responsibility for where they are in their lives right now, and they never play the victim. When they blame themselves, they proactively seek solutions to solve those problems. It may take time, but success is inevitable. Steve Jobs was adopted, and his adoptive parents were never really well off. He couldn't even afford to pay for his own college tuition. Oprah Winfrey's family was very poor when she was growing up, and then she decided to create her own success. And now, she's a billionaire. What I am trying to say is that if you think you will never achieve big things in your life because you come from a poor upbringing, you are playing the victim. All of these self-made success stories that I'm describing, they all started from rock bottom, and they decided they were going to change the cards they were dealt and take control over their own life. They did not sit and sulk at what they were given. They decided to do something about it. Life is an imagination. We basically imagine everything we do. We imagine our future. We dwell on the past. The future and the past don't exist. Only this moment is what we have. We are the creators of our own lives. We can realize that we can shape this dream in the way we want it to be. You have control who comes into your life, who you date, what you watch, what you listen to, what you read. You have control over all of these things. If you wake up every morning and decide to turn on the news, and it's all negative and your entire day is ruined, don't blame the news. Blame your eyes and blame your hands for turning it on. My friends are too toxic. My partner is too toxic. We're constantly arguing. Why don't you start looking at why you allowed them into your life? Why don't you start considering, do I have control over who I let into my life? Why don't you start looking at yourself? How do you want to play your game? What does your dream look like? How do you act? What does your character look like? Many people prefer to be the victim in their own lives because it makes them feel safe. You see, being the victim is the most comfortable thing because you don't have to do much. Your life is a circle. Everything keeps moving in the same way, but this is comfortable for you. You know why? Because you know what will happen in that circle. You know everything. You don't have to take risks. You don't have to deal with different challenging situations. Your job is boring with a salary that doesn't cover your bills, but at least you're used to this job. You don't have to face new challenges. Change requires courage, so everyone wants to blame. You want to blame your trauma. You want to blame capitalism. You want to blame society. In the end, you'll have no one left to blame but yourself. Your life is up to you. No one is going to save you. Do you know why? Because no one can save you. The only person who can save you is yourself. If you want your life to change, you have to change. Growing up isn't easy. Growing up is 2 steps forward and 1 step back. Every time you learn something, it's 2 steps forward because now you have more knowledge. But then if you put it into practice, it will be 1 step back because you're not used to acting like this. But you still have to keep going. If you give up when you feel like, oh, this is uncomfortable, this is too much for me, if you give up right there, you'll right back where you started. And we want to move forward. Stop abusing yourself by being the same person that you don't like. Look in the mirror. You have no one left to blame. You can cry all day about, oh, I'm overweight, I'm too fat. What are you really doing to fix that? Or are you just crying all day? Truly ask yourself, what am I actually doing to improve my life? I wake up and what do? Do you go on social media and just stay there? Do you scroll all day and then say, oh, my life sucks? Society sucks. No, you're just not good enough. You're not trying, and you're not trying hard enough. Try again, 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 until you achieve. Many people get trapped in the past. The past doesn't exist. You have to accept your past and know that everything that happened has already happened. Now, you start working on yourself because the past no longer exists. The only moment we have is the present. The same goes for worrying about the future. Oh, I want my future to be like this. But what are you doing now? How are you behaving now? Because the way you live now will determine your future, not the other way around. Last but not least, if you don't take care of yourself first, you can't show up as the best dad, the best son, the best employee, or the best boss. You can't show up because you're exhausted, you don't feel good, you're depressed. If you want to perform at your best for others, then you should think about yourself first and nurture yourself first so you're happy. Stop thinking it's selfish. You have to put yourself first, right now. If you don't feel good in life, if you feel like, my life is not going anywhere, it's okay to take a step back from everyone and focus on you. Focus on nurturing yourself. No one is going to take care of you. No one is going to come to save you. I'm telling you this, no one is coming. The only person who will save you now is you. You deserve everything you want in life, and you can get it once you set your mind to it. I'm not here to make you feel comfortable. I want to wake you up. The only thing truly standing in the way of your success is yourself. Take responsibility for where you are in life right now, because it entirely depends on you, and you are in control of the outcome and what happens to you in life. So, do something about it. As always, I thank you for watching until the end. I love you so much, and thank you for continuing to support me.